is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude. And I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Someone this morning made a comment and said, you know, the last week or so you seem like maybe on pre-streams you're a bit down. What's going on with that? And, you know, being honest with you, right now, I've gotten a bunch of huge cheers in the last week. I've gotten big tips. But what are the chances that they're all legit? And imagine this. Okay, imagine this. You go to work. You walk into your place of business, whether it's a retail store, a restaurant, office job. Hell, maybe you work in construction, right? Doctor, whatever it is. Imagine you do a hard day's work, right? A full-on day, doing what you do, doing a good job, being told you're doing a good job. At the end of the day, you get handed a check. Here's your check. Good job. You earned it, man. Right? And some days, you go and you cash the check, and everything's good, and you can use that money to pay your bills, and you feel good about it. But some days, you get a check, and you go to cash it, and it bounces. Oh well, that day you worked for free. Tough shit.
I'm not here to take a paycheck. I don't stream to make money. Like I said, this is my passion. I love gaming. I absolutely have gamed my whole life. I've loved sharing my gameplay experiences with you for the past 11 years, and I'll continue to do so even if I couldn't make $1 doing it.
Right? But even further to that, imagine if some days you work, you get the check, you go to cash it, it bounces, but there's a chance that maybe you could get that money back if you argue about it. If you go and send information proving that you did hard work, right? Oh, I did do hard work that day. Here's the evidence that I did, and here's the evidence that I earned that money. And now you got to go back and forth arguing, and there's no guarantee that you'll still get it, right? That's pretty much the situation when you're a full-time streamer. Like, contributions come in, and you think that they're legit, and there's nothing you can do about it if someone later on commits fraud, which is a major crime, jail time, major jail time if anyone ever gets caught for it, okay? And at any time you could just be told, well, you worked your ass off, but you know that money that you earned and sat in your bank account for such amount of time? Yeah, it's gone now.
I can't let this beat me, but I don't know how to beat it. I don't know how to beat it myself. That's the problem.
It's fucked up, right? Imagine if you had a job that was completely uncertain. Now you may say, well, then why would anyone want to be a full-time streamer? Well, the whole idea here, then, is that you make enough that even with those chargebacks, even with the issues happening, that it's more than enough to make a living, you know? So it looks like on the surface you're making way more than you actually are, because behind the scenes there's a lot of the kind of activity going on, okay? Now the good news is, I do win a significant amount of these chargebacks, okay? But it's not always.
Oh my god!
Imagine this one. How about this one? You work for 2 months. You earn a certain amount of money. Then after 2 months, all of a sudden your bank contacts you and says, oh, you know, $700 was just taken out of your bank account because someone on the back end is claiming this or that about you. Like, what? I earned that money. That money's in the bank. Sometimes I spent it. Now, 2 months later, you're going to try to take it back? What? Imagine that. Imagine you had a job that was like that. That's pretty much the reality of my situation, you know?
This guy constantly whining. Wah, wah. Shut the fuck up. God damn. Wah, wah. Oh my god.
At this point, you know, I've come to the reality that this is basically a job of great uncertainty, right? Overall, this year has been amazingly positive, as I've told you guys, especially during the vest streak when that was going on. Holy shit. Like, the contributions were off the charts, so even with the chargebacks and everything, it didn't matter. Now, the vest streak's over, and not to say that the contributions aren't great, they are, but the question is how many of them are legit. You know what I mean?
Basically, here's a whiny baby.
So, the good news that I have to tell you guys is, you know, it's been about a week since I was getting those ginormous cheers. So far, everything looks good. You know, on a daily basis, I'm checking on them to make sure that they're still there. Nothing's been happening in regards to, oh, that was determined that they're fake or whatever. So once those cheers go through, and, you know, essentially once things get better, in regard, not get better, what am I talking about? Once things process is what I meant to say, okay? I'll have a much better picture of how I've been doing. And if, let me put it this way, if all those cheers are legit, it's going to be a giant help to get through the rest of the year, to afford all the new games coming out, the new console that I'm buying, PS5, maybe even if they ever allow us to do it normally, maybe get an Xbox Series X, and affording all the games and everything for that through the end of the year. It's going to help me a lot with taxes and the like. It's going to help me with everything. If they're, excuse me, if those cheers are real. So I really hope they are. But, in regards to tips, I don't know, man. So, we have tips goals on the streams, right? At 50 bucks, I put on the gunner glasses. At 100, I put on a vest. At 200, I spin in place and get dizzy like an idiot, right? Listen, I didn't come up with these goals either. Alright? I know that they don't sound very great on paper, but people love them. People like the vest and everything, right? So thank you for that. Thank you for supporting it. But please don't take what's on the leaderboard as gospel truth. A lot of the times it's not. A lot of the times those tips sit there for a couple weeks and then boom, all of a sudden there's a chargeback and it completely screws me over. So please understand that. And know that, ooh, you know, because here's the caveat of all this, is that if someone comes in and does a fake tip, I'm going to tip Phil $80 today, with the premise of knowing that I'm going to lie about that later and charge it back and get my money back, or try to get my money back. So today, it may say I raised $100 in tips, and because of that, people are like, Phil hit the tips goal today, that's great. I don't need to contribute today because Phil's good, right? Phil's fine. You know, he did real good. And then, actually, the truth of the matter is I didn't raise that at all. You know, $80, that's fake. So, you see what I'm saying? So, please, do not take that as the truth. It's just basically a guideline we use to do celebratory events. It's not really a representative of anything that I'm actually raising on a stream. Please consider contributing, and if you do, don't use the leaderboard as a way to determine what you're contributing, because more than likely, it's over-exaggerated, okay?
Let's face it, is a money factory. Please give me your monies.
Yeah, admittedly. Admittedly, it gets to me when, you know, I had 6 months, nearly 6 months of overwhelming success with the vest streak. The vest streak ended, and the support continued. And I was like, wow, if this continues on this rate, then I have nothing to worry about. Everything's great. And then all of a sudden, it's charge back, charge back, charge back, charge back, charge back. Then all of a sudden, I start getting giant tips out of nowhere that don't look legit. And it's like, oh, come on. You know? It gets to me. It does. It wears me down. It absolutely, positively wears me down. It makes me feel worried. Very worried about, what if one day I get a giant chargeback, now I have no money in my PayPal account, and I don't have enough money in my bank account. What the fuck? You know, I don't want to feel that way. I've been doing great this year. You know?
Tom Bone sent me $1. Says, do you ever get tired of being the victim? Yeah, every day. I don't ever want to be a victim. I never wanted to be, but sadly I am.
Last Rambo just did a 60-bit cheer and said the following. 2 questions. What do you usually do between your day and night streams? Will you play the autumn Halloween update of Animal Crossing? What do I do between my day and night streams? The first thing I do after I shut off my stream is I have to update. Let's try this again. I have to upload the videos from that first stream to YouTube, which could either be very quick or very time-consuming, depending on, for example, is it a brand new playthrough or not? Is it an ongoing series that I've already got all the information saved and set up? So, for example, yesterday, I turned off the stream, I sat down, I started uploading the videos to YouTube. I have to make brand new tags, brand new description. I have to get thumbnails, because I have a fan who makes me thumbnails for ongoing playthroughs. I have to download the thumbnails, get those sorted, so those are ready to go for the playthrough. Then I have to individually set up each video with a title. I have to watch back the video briefly to get a name for the video, so you know what's in that video. Each video that I put on YouTube is an individual title. So I have to play back the video to get information about that. I name and title it. I add the description info. I add the tags. You have to do that for all 3 videos. Now with YouTube, there's even more added shit you gotta do by selecting what type of content is in this video. Is there explicit language? Is there violence? Is there drug use? Is there this? Is there that? You have to select all this information every single video now that you upload to YouTube. It's very, very tedious and annoying. Alright. So, had to do all that. So, did that. Then I headed downstairs and saw my wife for about 15 minutes before she went to work. I had turkey tacos for dinner. Alright. Ate, and then cleaned up, meaning had to put away the leftovers, had to wash the dishes, clean the kitchen, okay? So I really wasn't done with all of that till almost like 5:30, 5:45. Then I wanted to see what Jasper was up to, and he was basically just sitting down to go to sleep, because he usually takes an afternoon nap after dinner. So, saw him for a few minutes, but then he went to sleep. Or I use the bathroom, right? By then it's already past 6 o'clock, right? So now I head into the office. I'm like, okay, what's the stuff that I have to do tonight? I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. I said, okay, I have a few extra minutes before I have to stream. I'm gonna sit down and pay some bills for the month, my month-end bills. So I sat down and, you know, scheduled out, paid some bills, and then I got the stream going. You see, and this is pretty much my day, every day between the streams. Almost always is full of activity. Boom, 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 boom. Usually, I don't get to actually relax at all until my wife gets home from work. Because once my wife gets home from work, usually we sit down and maybe have a midnight snack, and we talk about our days, and we listen to relaxing music, and Jasper comes and hangs out with us on the couch, and sometimes he naps there with us, and we have a good time then. But that's really it. Like, I am working, starting, 10 a.m., and don't really get a break to do anything relaxing until, like, 11:30 at night. That's my day. It's just constant activity. Boom, 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 boom. So there you go. Here's a description of my day.
I work more now than I ever did. Like, this job, I worked more doing this than I ever did for any other job that I had previously. That was good.
Sweaty Man JPEG did 100 pictures. Did you pay bills every day? Really? No, I didn't say that. Last Ramble said, what do I usually do between my day and night streams? And all I did is I described a typical day. That's exactly what I did yesterday. No, obviously there's other things. There's things I gotta do, chore, errands, cleaning the house, taking the trash out, sweeping, dusting, various things that you do around the house. It's not always just paying bills. A lot of things you gotta understand. I'm part of a condo association group here. There's responsibilities that I'm supposed to do. Things you have to clean, things you have to do. Is it every day? No, but every day there's something different. Every day there's something different going on that I have to do. That keeps me very busy.
Jay Hawkwood, cheers. I told my wife's boyfriend about your streams. He said he would check you out. Sounds good. How many boyfriends does your wife have, by the way?
Internet famous McCroy gifted a sub to Content ID. Wow, congrats. Oh, by the way, I guess I should mention this. As I suspected, yes, at least some of these Mafia videos from yesterday, I don't think all 3 got claimed, but I think at least 1 or 2 of them got claimed for Content ID, and I'm making no money on it. So,
give me your money. I don't even know what to do with all this money at this point. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. I eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you. No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. Is the guy who just doesn't get reality.